Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Monday, February the 5th. Another day in the books here within the stock market. Brian Farr here, VP Stock Analytics with Stock Dads. Welcome back. Markets closing red on the day. Everything finishing kind of meh. Yields relative strength again as the bonds continue to sell off. Continuation move from Friday. The dollar also having a little bit of a continuation move to the upside. So there are some headwinds right now for equities, but it didn't really seem like that. I mean, we did see a little bit of sell-off this morning, and only to catch a bid around 11 o'clock, and markets ultimately just couldn't get the nice little close there. But overall, everything closing in on the red side. Q's down 0.13%, the S&P's down 0.36%. IWM taking the biggest hit since they are the most sensitive to those higher rates, higher interest rates, down 1.27%. The Dow also closing in the red. So overall, a pretty rough day in the market. Let's just go ahead and get into things. I mean, it was a nice little day trade session, though. So yeah, let's get into things. This is the Daily Squeeze. Let's just start out by looking at the SPY. As you can see, we started out somewhat okay, a little bit weakness in general. We had a mixed bag on earnings reports. McDonald's reported their first loss there on revenue, first miss on revenue in what, seven quarters, I do believe was the number there. So pretty big miss there for McDonald's. They did blame it on global conflicts. You know, you got the Ukraine-Russia situation going on, and you also have the Israel situation going on in the Middle East. So they definitely blamed it on that. We had big earnings from Caterpillar. They posted a big beat, and Caterpillar was running into lifetime highs off of their earnings report. But looking here on the SPY chart, you can see that we had a little bit of market weakness to get things going. We did have some good fun here trading SPY today. We ended up trading SPY 3 times today, twice to the downside and once to the upside. We took SPY puts right about here, and then we took a little bit of profit down here. Then we reversed up and got stopped out, but we did end up with 16% profit. We then hit SPY puts again when we broke down below the opening range and hit our fib extension targets off of that opening range, and that was a nice little 33% gain on those. We took those from $1.07 all the way to $1.42, so pretty good win there. Obviously, we could have gotten definitely a lot more off that, since it ran to $4.90, but it hit all of our targets, and you know, we just eventually took profit altogether on that. And then things started to turn around. We started to see a little bit of a reversal pattern here, and we went long on the SPY, and we also took some SPX put credit spreads, which is a neutral bullish strategy. We ended up taking those we took the 491 calls from 92 cents all the way up to $1.15. Could have gotten a little bit more out of it, but we hit our targets here. We were just trying to push things through the 382 retracement, as well as the 50% retracement off of the swing high and swing low. So that's what we ended up doing on the SPY. And then, of course, we were able to take pretty much max profit, 82% on the SPX put credit spreads. On those, we sold the 4900 and bought the 4885 put credit spread for about 55 cents, and then we bought them back for 10 cents. So a good 82% gain on those. And then if you held those to expiry here at market close, you would have been able to take on full profit on those. So overall, a pretty awesome day trading session in general. But yeah, China, things still remain volatile. If we pull up the HSI, the Hong Kong chart, they're still trying to figure things out there. In China, they're still trying to pump the markets, but it's still top left to bottom right. It's still a downtrend overall. They still can't get things started. We did end up taking a NVIDIA debit spread here. They were hitting the 700 calls like they were going out of style, or, you know, selling like candy, really. And I did end up taking a debit spread. I'm still hanging on to some of those. We'll see if we get a follow through move tomorrow. See if we can gather up some profits off of that. We also ended up taking profit on MPC, partial profit, still hanging on to some contracts, still looking for 172 and 175 here on Marathon Petroleum. So far, those have gone from $4.50 all the way up to $7.40. So a pretty sweet 64% gain on Marathon Petroleum. There are definitely some setups here that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. The first things first I want to talk about is ULTA. I did go ahead and snag an entry here on ULTA. I went and took the next week contracts for the 515 strike. I am a little bit early, but we are maintaining trend and structure here. And as long as we don't have a daily close below this 497 level, and that puts us back into this range here, we want to avoid that. So if we get a daily close back below here, then that would stop me out. But ultimately, I'm looking for a move all the way up to about the 520, 525 zone on ULTA. So keep a look on that. I did go smaller position just because things are definitely a little bit frothy here, with yields catching a little bit of a bid here back above the daily 200. We're back at this 4.1, 4.2 mark on yields. And even the dollar is showing relative strength here lately, as you can see. And we talked about this on Sunday Night Prep, that, yeah, this does look like a little bit of an inverse head and shoulder look to it. And if the dollar wants to catch a bid and run off of that bullish structure here, then yeah, we're looking for a move all the way back up to about 106 here, and that is definitely going to be a headwind for overall equity. So any kind of swing trades that we get into, or any kind of new positions that we want to take on, we need to keep things in mind that the market could possibly see some headwinds, and we want to make sure that we're not positioned as heavy, and we also just don't want too much skin in the game, because things can get a little bit frothy. But looking at the VIX here, the VIX, it did have a nice little push here towards 14.5, but still came on down, still continues to be muted. The volatility of volatility, the VIX, continues to run down as well. Now, if it gets above this 90-30 mark, then that's when things really get to be more of a concern. So have an alert set up here about this daily 200 or the 90-91 zone, and that way you'll have a heads up when things are starting to get really interesting as we progress. In crypto news, Bitcoin, not too much going on here. We are still holding above the 42,000 mark, and it's still stable. Nothing too crazy going on. Still holding above 40K. Nothing really to report on there. And overall, in general, let's see. We talked about ULTA. Let me see. Let's see. Boeing. I definitely want to keep my eyes on Boeing. Boeing had more news today. They still can't seem to stay out of the news lately, but of course everyone's kind of just paying attention to them. But it's still trading within this box. If we get a break above 217.70, then I'm looking to go long and hit a target of the daily 50 simple moving average up at about 250. Excuse me, 232. But if we happen to break down below 200, then I'm looking to go short with a target of about 180. So I'm keeping an eye on Boeing, see how things continue to shape up over there. And let's see, Tesla continues to be a little bit of a headache. There was a interesting report from the Wall Street Journal stating that Musk was taking drugs with some of the board members. Yeah, I guess it's relevant. I don't really know, but I guess it's an image thing. We've seen Musk even smoke weed on podcasts and all that kind of good stuff. So I don't think it's specified what kind of drugs or anything like that. So I guess there's some speculation there. But overall, if we're looking at Tesla, yeah, it looks pretty ugly here. It is trading below the key moving averages. You can see that the 8 is coiling way down. The 21 EMA is also coiling down. You did try to break down support, but you closed back above it. But if you get some follow through move here, You could very well come down here to the 155, 150 zone, and that'll be a big zone to retest. That's another big level to kind of work out. I wouldn't mind grabbing some put credit spreads here down here at the 150 mark. So I'm paying attention to Tesla, see if we get some further weakness and we sell off some more. And then as we come into 150, that's when I want to try to take on some potential long positions because the risk reward there looks pretty darn juicy. But all right, all in all, not too bad of a day. We did have some lighter economic data today with the ISM numbers and all that. Tomorrow, we have some more Fed speakers on deck. Earnings reports. We got pretty much all of the major players taken care of. So tomorrow you got earnings reports from Lilly, Spotify, British Petroleum, Toyota, Snapchat, Enphase, Ford. Ford's going to be an interesting one. Chipotle, Elf Beauty. Yeah, you got Elf coming up tomorrow too, so we'll have to pay attention to that with our ULTA positioning. Estee Lauder killed their earnings report. So Estee Lauder had a very beautiful earnings report, and they got smacked down by the daily 200. So we'll pay attention to see how that continues to go. All in all, though, overall, pretty great day trading session. We did take profits off of MPC, added ULTA, and I'm still holding on to some NVIDIA debit spread. So be on the lookout for those to see how we want to handle those. But as it looks, yeah, we got Mester speaking tomorrow, and it's pretty light as far as the economic calendar goes for this week. So that's nice. All right, that's going to be it. Short, sweet, and to the point. Have a good rest of your afternoon, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.